So what happens when three intuitive healers get together to discuss life, love, and spirit? Well, let's just say it gets real. And a little spicy. Welcome to Serenity Soul Sisters. Well, welcome everyone to Serenity Soul Sisters. I'm Barbara Califano, and I'm here with my bestie buddies, Gina Simone and Bobby Allison. And we have a special guest today from across the pond, our dear friend, our healer, who actually helps healers. And his name is David Slater. David, Bobby, Gina, woohoo! Where are you, girls and boys?
Hi.
How you doing?
Well, we are
how are you guys doing?
We are so excited to have David on tonight.
Woohoo! David,
woohoo. Thank you for being with us.
How much coffee have you had from across the pond?
Yeah, I just had to take some extra caffeine, and I'm fine. Because it's a bit late over here.
It's like, what, 10:30 by you, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You can handle it.
a little espresso didn't hurt anybody. I'm a coffee person. I left mine in the car. I can't believe I left it in the car, but I did. It is what it is. It is what it is. So how's everyone doing?
It ain't.
Yeah. So how's it going, Gina, Bobby? You guys are good?
Very good.
Yeah, things are going great.
Good. I know we have what?
I said we're all good.
I'm glad. Well, we have a lot of things to cover with David today. So I think we should just jump right in. And David, how are you doing over there?
Well, there's a lot of energy changes, and I'm betting that you guys are feeling it too.
Yes.
Anybody who is sensitive in that sort of area will feel all these changes, and a lot of you will not have a clue where it's all going.
So what do we do with this energy that we're receiving? Because I know over here in America, there's a lot of energy flowing, lots of crazy things are going on, and I'm sure we're in England as well, but what do you do? What do you do for the energy?
Well,
how do we handle this here?
All I try and do is just keep myself happy in my own little bubble. You've got to remember that there's a lot of changes going off at the moment, a lot of changes, a lot of unpredictability. And so all you can do is just look after yourself and keep yourself as happy as you can.
Okay. So how do you, actually, let's start with, how did you know you had this ability for healing? And how long tell them how long you've been doing this. It's been a long time.
No, I've been doing it all my life. You know, I'm in my mid-60s now, but I've only been doing the spiritual work now since about 2002. And the way I started with the healing is that I actually put my hand up to my face like this, and I sort of I could feel, even about 1 inch away from my face, I could feel the energy. Even now, I could still feel the energy coming out of the palm of my hands. And at that particular point, I realized that I could do something with this.
So then
that's how it all started.
Where did you know to go? Like, how did you know to go? Did you have other friends that were energy healers?
I was very fortunate that I met up with a medium, and she was a very good medium. And she gave me a reading, and the reading said that you can go down 2 pathways with your healing. You can go down this route, which is it's called the SNU, which is the Spiritualist National Union in the UK, which is quite a prominent sort of society. And then the other route is to go down the route of the NSFH, which is another very, very sort of big spiritual place, which again, I went down that route, and this medium sort of lady, she said that if you go down that second route, then you'll be one of these outstanding healers. So as it turns out, that's the way I've gone down. So.
Wow. And England is very, very fortunate to have you. I wish we can get you over here. But you know, your energy comes here. Yeah, and we've all felt it.
Exactly. I mean, one of the things that I've learned, I put lots and lots of hours every Saturday morning, and then during the week, loads of hours just healing people in the healing center. And I was doing what we call hands-on. Don't actually touch the people, but you're very, very close, and you got your hands there, and you sort of over the crown chakras, and you work your way through all the rest of the chakras. And of course, what I found out very early on as well doing that sort of work is that not only am I giving energy out, I'm actually doing spirals out of the palms of my hands, and I'm cleaning out people's chakras. And by the time I finished, all the chakras are fired up. And for those of you who's gone into that much depth with chakras, you can actually get them spinning so fast that they're in flames.
Wow.
So that's the sort of thing I can do hands-on. But since this sort of situation where nobody's allowed to travel or touch anybody, this is the situation.
You have to put your mask on your spirit.
You have to put your mask on. I've now found out that I can actually heal people over 3,600 miles away. And
so we're good.
A couple of you guys in there that testify against that as well.
Yeah. So Bobby,
most amazing.
Go ahead, Bobby. You tell the story how you met David.
Met
tell David. Go ahead.
David
tell everybody.
Back in 2000 and I forget what year, 13, 12?
Yeah, something
like that. Back that time, and we were chatting about whatever. And we had been typing for a long time, and my left shoulder, which is always the left for me, started hurting. And I don't think I even told you that my shoulder was starting to give me a problem as I was typing so long. And you asked me, I believe, I could be wrong. You said, you asked me about my left shoulder. And I'm like, that's weird. How the hell did he know that? And then you're like, oh, I just sent you energy. And I'm like, okay. And like in 5 minutes, the pain was like gone. I'm like, that's crazy. This guy's crazy. So I'm like, I just thought it was like a coincidence. Of course, I believed in healers and all that. So then, our continued conversations, I'm like, I got to test this guy again. So and the next pain I would get, I would be like, I'm sorry to bother you, but like, can you send me energy? And so he did, and it went away. So I'm like, now I'm addicted to this guy. And I'm like, not only is a great conversationalist,
but he can touch you from across the pond.
He can oh yeah.
Touch me, David.
Wow.
Go on, Barbara. Just tell everybody what I told you.
You can tell it.
No, I'm not.
You can't say that.
Well, we could.
Let's not go down that
Oh
road.
my God. Go ahead, Bobby. Continue.
Some things are left unsaid. So, okay, so skip forward. We didn't talk for a little while. And then, we would chat here and there and everywhere. And then when I moved to Colorado, I had the most severe back pains. It was a combination of back pain and spinal issues, upgrades, and all these different things. And I really, really, really couldn't move one night. I was in the shower looking for a way to end my life because I couldn't move. I was in so much burning pain. Nothing helped. I had creams and this, that, the other thing, Advil. And I told Eddie, please go on my messenger and find David Slater. And you have to find him. You have to message him and beg him for me. And I think we had been talking a couple times before that, but this was like the worst of the worst. And I don't know. I love him so much because he stayed on the phone with me for 2 hours?
Something like that, yeah.
He sent some type of energy that not only it felt like whatever he sent or whatever energy or people, whomever, it felt like they came down and they put their hands on my spine, aligned it, and held it there and just stayed there. I was able to fall asleep. I hadn't slept in 2 days. And he stayed on the phone with me. He talked me through it. I was hysterical crying. And I just remember oh my God, this man just gave me a bit of peace in my life. And ever since then, it got so much better. I still have the pain, as you all know, but nothing like it was. I was at the point of, I told this story before. I really wanted to just not be in this world because I couldn't function. Gina, you came and Kim came to visit me. You know how bad it was. It was somebody
terrible
squeezing my spine. It just came out of nowhere. It was hard. But I have to say that David, out of all the healers that I've ever been in person with, and this is across the pond, him sending whatever. And I was like, what are you doing? Because this is phenomenal. This is your anomaly. This is beyond bizarre. But I believed in it wholeheartedly. But people would be like, "What the hell are you talking about? Someone else just fine." I mean, I told it to everybody because I was like, "This is crazy." So he does this technique, which we won't let out unless he does, that other people don't use, and maybe they don't know or aware of it. But I can tell you, if anybody wants to make an appointment, has pain or whatever, please just contact him because it's that phenomenal. You will not go wrong ever. Right, David?
Well, hopefully.
Well, you know how bad I was.
You
know how bad I was.
Just remember, Bobby, that for every bit of pain that you do, when I'm scanning your body, and that's what I do, I scan your aura all this distance away. I feel a lot of that pain as well.
Yeah, that sucks. Sorry.
But it's okay.
Well, you did tell me what it was from. You have the ability not only, I mean, I don't know how much I could say if you want to let out about you being very intuitive, but not only are a healer, but you know what it was from. You told me the lifetime it was from, what it was, how to get rid of it, and what to picture while you were doing the energy work, which I found phenomenal. It was so good.
Yeah, I've got what's called access to the Akashic Records. Some of you guys have also got access to it. So
Gina likes that. Gina, right? The Akashic Records.
I love the Akashic Records.
I like the Akashic Records. Me too. Bobby don't like the Akashic.
You've got to be very trustworthy. So you must be very trustworthy there, Gina.
Well, I should hope so. I would like to think that, but I will tell you, doing Akashic work is on a very deep level. Yeah. And what I wanted to ask you, David, is we were talking about Bobby's pain. Do you find that some clients also come to you for emotional?
Oh, well, most of it is emotional. And I know when I've worked on Bobby quite a lot of the sort of experiences in past lives have all been affairs of the heart where there's a lot of heartfelt stuff gone into whatever she's been doing. Even if it's down to mass murdering, which we've all done in the past. So avoid that situation. So a lot of this stuff has to come to the surface. You have to deal with it. You have to sort of forgive what you've done or whatever's been done to yourself, and that's the only way to sort of lift it. So
it's about loving yourself. We talk about that a lot on this show.
We do.
It's like layers of an onion, to be honest. It's just like layers.
David, can I just ask you, when you are doing I think you said the music, you were sending the energy out with the frequency of the music.
Gosh, yeah, that helps.
Is that different now?
No, it's still the same.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
So
because I find that you were way ahead of the game, because now my guides and stuff when I'm reading tell me that music, light therapy, and all those things they've said it for a couple of years now, are going to be integrated into the energy healing. So I wanted to know, do you think that you were ahead of the game with this technique, or is it something that they just allowed you to open up and do?
No, I don't, Bobby. I do not get told anything. Right, it just happens. Right, and I was talking to Gina yesterday about the fact that I was told about certain things, and then 5 years later I read about it in a book, and it's like
it's crazy.
Wow. Now, David, can you explain for people who don't understand? A lot of people may be a little cautious about going to a healer, certainly someone who's long distance. But we were just talking about music. Is that something that assists you, or it takes in place of the healing, or how does the music in itself work with you?
Yeah, well, just remember that whatever music that you put on to play for yourself, this is your own personal choice, has got a certain attraction of angelic energy with it. So if you like heavy rock, you will get all the angelic energy with heavy rock. I'm a bit of a soul freak. I'm very, very much an earth, wind, and fire man. So that's my style. I like that sort of stuff. I like all the 80s stuff. But I'm not really into heavy rock. But when I do the healing with the music, with you, Bobby, it was mainly Friday nights. I just put the earphones on. Okay, Bobby, I'm going to send you healing. There's a text. I'm working on you, and then there was text coming through, if you remember, I'm now working around your liver. I'm now moving across to your heart and then to your head. I'm now behind your eye. And it's like, yes, 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 yes. And I could feel it all. So
How do you feel it?
is that I'm now so upbeat with this music that my body fizzles. It actually literally fizzles. So
David, describe like how you feel it. Like is it like I know it's like tangible because obviously you're not putting your hand on her liver, but how can you explain like how you feel it? Like do you see it? Do you feel it? The energy of it?
no, I don't see anything. I mean, I am very envious of you mediums who can see things, because spirit never shows me hardly anything apart from when I'm just about to go to sleep or when I'm just waking up. But yeah, I've got really, really tremendous, what do they call it? Clairsentience, where you feel things. And I can feel things inside my body, but not only that, I can feel things outside my body. And I know when I did my healing exam many, many years ago, that the woman who was doing the healing exam, she was in her 80s, late 80s, and she says, I could feel you arriving about an hour before you got here because your aura was just so far away, and that was 25 miles away.
Wow.
But guys, you've got to remember that your aura has no limits. You can stretch your aura out into different galaxies if you wish. So,
Hence why you could go do it across the pond.
Absolutely. No big deal.
There's no big deal.
No
Not
big
for
deal.
you. That's awesome.
Not anymore.
Yes, because
Now,
energy
I've done it
is
once.
everywhere, and people don't understand that.
Right. Well, it's hard for the average person who has never experienced it to say, I'm getting an energy healer from someone who's from England. You know, like people don't really get it until they have that experience and they could actually feel him. Because I remember I was on the phone with him the other day and I'm like, are you sending me energy right now? Because
Yes,
I was. I know I get hot flashes, but this was not a hot flash. It was like, it was bubbling through me. I could actually feel it. And then I started to breathe differently. And I said that to Dave, I'm like, I'm not breathing the same, because it wasn't like I was breathing like from my lungs. I was breathing like outside of me. Does that make sense, David? I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
David,
You're displaced when your body's doing that healing. Your soul would step outside for a minute or be like 3 feet above, depending on what you can handle, I guess.
I really don't ask Bobby. He'll just do it. It's
So David, when you're doing the healing, most people understand healing coming from you as a healer putting their hands. Are you doing that, or are you opening up your aura and allowing the aura to touch the person that you're healing aura? Like, how does it work?
Shall I give the secret away, Gina? You want the secret?
No. I'm just curious, because even if you give the secret away, like, it's a special sauce. No one can just go ahead and do it themselves. But I'm just curious, because to us here in the United States, it's the hands-on that we understand.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Aura,
I do that.
we don't.
Personally, I prefer to do the hands-on healing, but I found that the long-distance healing just works equally as well. I mean, if you guys look on my website, there's a couple of testimonials. There's one from somebody down in Texas, and she trapped her finger in the door. So like the door behind me, just there. She trapped her finger in there. And she nearly broke it, but it was absolutely blue, with bruising. And she sent the text through, just as you did, Bobby, and I sent some healing, and straight away she said that, I'm feeling tingling on my finger. And, there's 2 pictures there, and one was at the time that she did it, and then 2 days later everything had disappeared.
Wow. I could have used you when I had my C-section.
Do you prefer, David, when you're doing a healing session, do you prefer for that person to be quiet, meditating, and focused? Or can this person just be doing whatever they're doing throughout the day and you're sending the healing?
Yeah, I prefer it when people are still or just relaxed, and then I can do some work on them. I know.
Well, you really don't have a choice, David.
Yeah.
Because when the energy comes in, you want to just lay down and go to sleep.
Well, yes. It's big energy, you know that, Bobby. So
yeah.
So,
and I think the ones of us that are super sensitive, we get like double and triple the dose.
yeah, it feels that
basically way. Because that's like, I could have like this most amazing experience with some people, and then other people go, well, I didn't have that, but I'm like, you should go again. It takes maybe chipping away of all the energy or the negative that they built up, so it might take a little while to get to that core.
Yeah, explain that, because I think a lot of people in today's society, everyone wants a quick fix. What's the pill I can take? What's the medicine? I want this to go away. Explain to people, David, about, we've got decades of trauma and decades of experiences. So explain to them that this may take some time.
Well, many of us actually here on this sort of show, I mean, and a lot of your sort of viewers are actually old souls, which, as you say, we've experienced this earth plane many, many times, doing different things, male, female, warriors, sort of people who sailed the seas. And we've picked up lots of things along the way. And, I know I had a really bad experience with somebody told me about, where I was once one of these deep sea divers looking for sponges, the guys with the big brass helmets on.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down into the sea. Along came a shark, bit the tubes, and that's me, a goner, right?
Oh.
And my experience from this lifetime of that is that I've got a dreadful habit of, I hold my breath.
Yeah.
And I don't know I'm doing it. Okay.
I always thought that was stress.
Yeah, well, somebody pointed it out, and that's what had happened. So.
And then when you remember to breathe diaphragmatically, then it's like, wow, that's real breathing. When you take that deep breath, you're like, oh, wait, I don't breathe from here up. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we carry many things with us from previous lives, so strange things.
So, David, what do you think is maybe the number one tip that you can give a person that say is going to reach out to you and they're going to want a healing for one thing or another? What do you think that they should do before they contact you?
Well, just have a think about what they want healing, and just remember that healers, the best healers, not only just change people's bodies, but they can change people's circumstances as well.
And do you think that they have to believe? Some people think like, well, I need a healing and I don't know where to go, but I don't necessarily believe in that.
No.
So what do you tell them?
Yeah, the thing is, Bobby, is that it's because I believe I can do it, which counts. Right. So I really don't care if you don't believe it or not. You're just going to get healed, Bobby.
That's what I say. I'm just asking questions for the people that don't believe. So I would be like, I'm being them right now.
All right, so I have someone that actually wrote in, and it's from Beth Rice. She says, so I feel a week ago, I'm sorry, I guess you meant I fell a week ago and hurt my arm and shoulder. After a week, it still hurts. Can he heal that, or is it more pain that has manifested from emotions that he can heal?
Yeah, guess what I'm doing now?
He's sending her energy. Beth, if you could feel it, just like let us know. So, let's see.
Just be open to it.
She said, I so feel like I need a past life reading. And another, I don't know if that would, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That was a really good question, because Beth was in essence asking, is this something physical, or is this something emotional that's coming up that's manifesting as physical? And that's something I think that people don't understand. It could be either.
It's the latter there, Gina. You were spot on with the second part of it. A lot of the stuff is in our auras. Our auras carry a lot of information from past lives. Mm-hmm. And every now and again, the energy decides to sort of manifest itself. Either you've got problems with your liver, problems with your stomach. And many, many people that I've noticed have actually got symptoms, and then when they go to the doctors, they can't find anything.
Right.
Because it's just energy related, rather than sort of, it's the energy that they're feeling rather than the actual symptoms, true symptoms. So
would you agree that when they get one thing, or they're open to having one area healed, the energy then shifts and moves, and it could mean that there's something else underneath that now shifts and moves to another area and maybe needs to be addressed?
Endless healing. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think in the future we're getting so many nice energies coming through these days, is that this sort of last 30 years or so is going to change, and we're going to get some really nice energies coming through where everything's going to be cleared away.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that, I know I'm taking a lot of questions, but trying to think what people would want to know, but do you think, maybe this is for the healers out there, but do you believe that your energy that you're pulling is at a quantum level?
Well, I've seen this word quantum used so many times, it's almost quantum in itself being used.
Okay, so what do you mean by that? Tell me.
Oh, no, I think it's the latest fashion to say that we're using quantum energy. And I was half tempted to say I'm a quantum healer, but I thought, oh, no, it's been overused now. So
No, I mean, I've been talking about quantum things for years. It's
Yeah.
hard to understand. I mean,
Yeah, well-
I have a friend that we go on and on about this, but I figure like only because you're different than all those other healers and you're teaching the healers, I want to know, do you think it's that you're pulling a different technique or you pulling from another place?
no, I think I'm
Different
pulling
than
it
they
from-
are.
I'm pulling this from a different place, a different source.
Right. Got it.
I mean, my friend who I sort of text to many times in Texas, she's sort of getting healing off me down the phone. We're talking down the phone. She suddenly asked me a question. Can you tell me about this? And it jumps into mediumship. Now, the thing is, what I explained to her is that why are you asking that question? Because I'm already connected to like the third galaxy past the outpost over the far side of the moon. And you want me to now change over the exchange to go to the different galaxy on the opposite side of the planet. And you expect me to do it like that, which is like snapping off. It doesn't happen like that. You get, whoa, let me tune out and get tuned back in. It's really crazy. But going back to your original question about sort of energy and quantum, what we're talking about here is, to put it in basic terms, I think everybody understands what chi is. We all understand chi. It's like the energy that we've got that makes us live. I'll give you an example of the different chi. Is that I actually live in Sherwood Forest. I'm about 2 miles away from the heart of Sherwood Forest, so I'll quite often go for a walk. And then when you walk through the forest, you pick up the chi. It's just thick with it if you can feel it. But if you go down into the underground, I mean, what do you call it over in New York? You call it something else? Subway?
The subway.
The subway. You go down to the subway, you're going to be hard pressed to find any chi down there.
Right.
And that's the difference.
Right. There's no
between
chi.
The energy. So what I do, as many healers do, even Reiki healers, they pull in energy and they just change things that's happening inside your chi, and that's what heals you.
Right. So how do you find the healers are like now that are you working with a lot of healers to heal them so that they can do more work?
No. I've been having a rest since 2015, and suddenly, like, I know that over the next months and couple of years, it's going to be a very, very busy time. So
yes,
okay, as healers, as mediums, we're just going to be inundated with work. And just remember, Bobby and Gina, is that you two guys, when you're giving readings out, you're actually doing a big part of this healing, because a lot of healing is talking to people.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know how Bobby works, but when I do readings and I'm connecting to the energy prior to a reading, I'm always asking for messages of the highest good for all concerned and for there to be healing. So yes, we're connecting with loved ones, but loved ones want to bring forth apologies or conversations that were just never healed here.
Yeah.
Shall I give you a tale of my mediumship?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, you like this, because I was. We've got these things over in the UK called psychic suppers. So
psychic slippers.
Suppers.
Supper.
Just like we do. Yeah.
Yeah, probably so. But I mean, our traditional meal is fish and chips, as you know, which is all bad for you.
Yes.
And then and that's afterwards. So we usually do one medium on a table with about 8 people, and you give readings. And one day I was doing a reading on this table, and the woman who was organising it came over to me and she said, Dave, can you help me out? There's a woman over here, and she wants a reading from her husband who's just passed to spirit about sort of 4 months ago, and the medium didn't give a reading. And so I walked over and I said, hello, talked to her a little bit, and she says, yeah, I'd like a reading from my husband. And I tuned in a little bit. And I got this voice coming through. I don't want to speak to her. So, I mean, you guys know, when you get this stuff coming through in your head, what are you going to say? So I was very diplomatic. I said, he's not quite ready to sort of come through and speak to you yet. So
smart.
Oh, you're so good. You're so good.
But the thing is that you get all sorts of information as mediums. and it's basically you've got to pass that information on as positive as you possibly can. So
now, David, you just said earlier that you're not a medium, but you are.
Well, no, I'm more of a healer than a medium.
But he
Okay.
is. Still has
He
that
is.
ability.
Yeah, I totally feel it. He has it. He has it. No question.
Yeah,
But he don't want to be known as that.
Correct.
Well, I want to do.
You've
the
done
healing.
it years ago. I remember
I
when
really
you
want
did
to
it.
do the healing. So
Yeah.
But you have to honor who you are, though, David. If you have
Honor
a
what you
spirit
do.
that
You do
wants you to
modality.
speak, you have to take that on.
yeah,
When spirit
I
wants
did it,
you.
and I did it every week. I was same as you, Bobby. You do the stand-up comedian experience.
Comedium.
Comedian,
I love
yeah.
that.
I mean,
Comedium.
my biggest audience was about 60 people, and I enjoyed that. It was really good.
Yeah.
So.
He used to do that, and I was like so happy for him that he was out there. But you know what? Listen, we all, you're channeling energy. Healing comes in many forms,
It
and
does.
when you channel that type of energy, then there's no doubt that you were a psychic medium back then, and then it changed to the healing because that's the heavy hand for you, if you will. And I believe that when you are working on people, you need to, maybe you need to connect with a loved one that maybe that's where their issue comes from and their resistance and stuff. So to know that, oh my God, you need to release this because this particular person is here. So you have to be that medium or that psychic to know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you are
absolutely, yeah. Yeah. It helps. So So I'm glad some of you have not asked any technical questions because I thought that was going to be my downfall because I can't remember technical stuff anyway. I just do generalizations.
Well, you know what? Talk about the crystals that you also use that are like your tools. So let's talk about that for a little bit.
You want to know about my wand?
I want to know about your wand.
Yes, please.
Your crystal
Okay.
wand.
Well, yeah. I mean, what happens is when
Bobby.
I start using the Harry Potter wand, I haven't got
I
Harry
can't-
Potter.
I
Thinking that Harry Potter.
Is that Harry
Yeah.
Potter?
Potter.
I really want a cup of tea. I don't know why, but go ahead.
Okay, so I had
crumpets.
one particular crystal which was it was very, very sharp, dagger-like shaped, and it was a split color, and I can't remember what it was, but it was basically when I looked it up, it used to separate the dark from the light. And I used to use it on people. I used to get rid of all the dark stuff out of them, and that was the crystal itself. And then I used it so much it gave up and got damaged and broke, and I could never use it again. So that's what happens with me and crystals.
Wait, don't you
One of the
get upset
one of the
when a
best-
crystal breaks? Doesn't
Yeah,
that something
just-
like that
just-
mean something? Like I broke I had a chakra crystal and the whole thing fell apart. Kim gave it to me. I was devastated. And I thought, wait, is this a sign? Is it a
Just did
sign?
its job, and that's it.
It did its job. I miss it.
Job.
But go ahead.
I had one. I was, you're always attracted to crystals. Mm-hmm. It's one of these things where, like this, the dragon chooses you sort of thing, how to chase, how to train a dragon sort of thing. But this crystal, I was looking around at one of these spiritual fairs, where they got a little market, and there was a crystal stall there, and I saw this thing, and I was more attracted by the name of the thing, and it was Merlinite. Okay, so I was very much into Harry Potter at that particular point. So I'll have this Merlinite, right? I think it's black obsidian, and the thing was, it was shaped like a skimming stone, right? You understand what that is now?
Yes, yes.
But it was also the shape of. Let me get up on camera. It was eye-shaped. So when I checked out what this thing did, apparently, it will not let through any negative energy whatsoever. And it just does positive stuff. So I put the crystal inside my hands, okay, and just held it like this. And then I had a friend who was, at the time, she was going to the doctors and she was about to have surgery on her eye. And the doctor says, I'll make a last check on the Thursday and then we'll take you into surgery. And I took this crystal like this and I charged it up with my hands and then I just placed it over her eye like this. And I just left it there for about a minute. And she went back to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, whatever was there is gone now.
Wow.
So that saved the surgery. So I was quite pleased with that crystal. So,
The doctor
and now
wasn't
it's
pleased.
And now it's disappeared. I was going to bring it on the show. It's gone. disappeared.
It was being shy. Doesn't want to come out yet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wait, you don't have it any longer? You don't know where it is?
I have not got a clue where it is.
It's in his house somewhere, right?
Somewhere, yeah.
But isn't
It's
that
only
bizarre?
you.
It's hiding.
It said, no, I don't want to come
When
out
it's ready
yet.
to be used again, then it'll
Well,
appear.
Wherever I put it, it is. But I can't remember where I put it.
I love that. I have to use that line.
Wherever I put it, it is.
He's
Oh
such
my
a
God.
character, isn't he?
He's awesome.
We love David. We love David.
So
Come on then, girls. What's next? I'm all charged.
So
up.
let's just go back to the
Charged up.
crystals. So do you use other types of crystals when you're doing your healing?
No. Yes, invisible ones. You want to know about the invisible ones, Gina? My little secrets.
You have invisible
Yeah.
wands. I love
Oh my-
that.
Okay,
We're back to the
let's
ones.
talk about the distance healing. So I was doing this distance healing with Bobby, and then I was doing it with various other people as well for quite a number of years, and apparently it worked, right? But I never knew exactly what was happening until around about, so I think it was about 9 months to 12 months ago, and I was giving healing to somebody who was very, very intuitive, could see lots and lots of things. She was a study of healing, and she told me exactly what was happening. So apparently there are 3 invisible crystals that I use which surround your body, and each of these invisible crystals transmit various energies, like microwave energy and radio wave energy, that sort of thing, and they're all doing different frequencies into a certain part of your body, and wherever these crystals shine their sort of light, that's the place on the body that I'm working with. But at the same time, I'm feeling this and I'm sort of directing it. And I can tell you, Bobby, that when we chase down some of these elusive energies that cause you problems, when I say elusive, you do not understand how elusive, right? So this is like chasing a mouse inside the house. You've got to sort of collar it into the being, and then suddenly it escapes. And then you've got to try and track it down. So you've got to use different frequencies. You sort of judge your frequencies about. You come in from the left, you come in from the right, you come in from the top down to the bottom, you go inside out, and then you've got it. Okay, you've captured it. And all you need to do then is get to the center of that energy.
So you stab it with it?
No, just disperse it. That's it.
Okay. So you think you picture the crystal like in a dagger kind of way, and you go into the middle of it, or it just disintegrates it?
It just disintegrates it, and that's it. Once you get to that center.
But that's after it's charged up from your energy, correct? It's the crystal energy and
my aura that's transmitting it.
Okay, can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
Did you ever hear of the crystal skulls?
Yes, I have.
Is that the same thing?
No, the crystal skulls are.
Is that made up or is that real?
They're coded. Yeah, they're quite real. They're coded with all sorts of information.
Okay, let me ask you
Really?
something. Is that galactic, or is that something that was left behind in the earth for us to find?
Atlantean times.
I love it.
So
I
it's
wanted to go
got
down
it.
this path. All right, we got to talk about it.
All right.
Oh, you
I
know
have
about
no
the
idea
crystal skulls?
what you're talking about, skulls. No clue.
Oh, crystal skulls. You got to Google it because you'll be quite amazed.
Yeah, very cool.
Have you ever seen who's that guy, Harrison Ford in Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Crystal
Yes.
Skulls?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, I'll have to look at that.
There's a couple of people on Facebook over the years that I was this one man reached out to me constantly, and he wanted me to learn about them, and he felt drawn to me, and he's like, you got to learn about these. But at the time I wasn't too sure if he was off his rocker or if it was real. So then when I figured that, I felt like there was like not a calling but like some type of attraction to it, I couldn't find him anymore. So I don't know if Facebook closed them down or what happened, but I was always like interested to know if that was something that was real.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only the books that I've read and the stories that I've seen that.
That's like all the data of the earth about the pyramids and things like that. That type of data.
And much more, and much more.
Oh, okay.
So are you able to pick up that energy, David, and learn from it? Like can you read that energy?
I don't know where I picked. Barbara, you're asking me now. You're going into the technical stuff. I don't know.
Sorry.
Myself, so I don't even ask Spirit what the name is.
You don't.
They just come, they do the business, and then they go. And that's it.
That's just totally,
Wow.
that is totally
That's
letting go.
crazy.
Like when I do a reading, it's the same thing. It's like you totally trust in who
Right.
works with you. So you don't question, you just speak what you see. You
Yeah.
don't put anything into it. So it's a beautiful, pure flow. And when you have that beautiful, pure flow, that's when everything is on the money. Right, David?
You have now moved into the 5-dimensional stuff now, Bob.
Oh.
And I will
That's
tell
true.
you, when you're in that 5D space, it is intoxicating.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It feels like everything is in absolute love, joy, perfection. Everything is perfect. But I just want to explain to everyone that's out there that maybe wonders about the healing and the mediumship and the psychic. David's right. It's very hard to talk about the technical because it would be like asking a singer, where are you getting your vocal cords from, or where are you getting the inspiration to hit that note? It's just something that is given.
Right.
So singing
Absolutely
and
right.
art, you can't speak about
Like a
technical
download.
because it's just a natural gift that is coming out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Nina. Spot on with that. Absolutely spot on. So the more you try and quiz about things in the universe, the more you understand, the less you know. Which
No,
is
because
like,
I think that we're
that
all
cliche
trying
has
to
been used
figure
many
out.
times. So
Yes. So
Yeah,
true.
So I think there's a lot of things that everyone's being uncovered, like a lot of grids and all of that is being kind of taken away from people. So we're trying to catch up with the people that don't even have the basics of spirituality or what their soul is and how powerful they are. We've learned it through going through the years of spirituality, and then you get people who are just babies to it, even though they are it. They've been clouded by layers of shit.
yeah, but you've got to remember, Bobby, there are a lot of people out there who are very, very nice people, and to be honest, they are so full of spirit. They're probably in 5D. They don't even know it.
Well, of course, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the reason why we ask all these questions, or we try to get people to understand the basics of spirituality, is when they're just starting out, taking baby steps.
If they want
That's
to
what I
delve
meant.
into
Not
it.
that there's these beautiful people out there. And, I love when I come across them because there's just pure sweetness.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, they don't even know that they're there. No judgments. There's none of that. There's just pure love, unconditional.
Absolutely.
And we all seek that out. Unconditional love is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the best place to look for unconditional love is with your animals, with your pets, because
absolutely. Yeah. Well, dog spelled backwards is God, and dogs give us what no other human can. Mm-hmm. And when you experience that, it's addicting, and you just want to keep experiencing that. But there are people like that too. It's like, how can somebody just be so sweet that it just oozes and drips off of them? Yeah. And those are the people I think sometimes that maybe stay in their homes or they run for cover because they know their sweetness, but people take advantage of them or their niceties. Mm-hmm. But you're right. There's so many people out there.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you run into them too.
I'm pretty sure that they're just walking around healing everything going and they don't even know it, just by being nice. Yeah.
Light workers to the max.
So, but you're right. But if you want to get into healing, you've probably got an inkling to go down that route. But it's I think a lot of it delves from you got to get close to the sort of source. So you got to do a bit of meditation. And the more meditation David, you do, the more you get into it.
So you're a teacher by nature, and your healing abilities and such. You just have that way about you. So do you offer classes for healers? Is it mentoring? Is it one-on-one? What is it that you've come up with?
You know something? I've been looking around this sort of place where I live at the moment for sort of all the people who do meditation and things like that, and there's definitely a sort of a gap to actually start this sort of thing going, and I'm just going to pursue it into the new year a little bit more and just get some meditation classes going.
It's going to be very big.
Yeah,
huge.
I've heard that.
It's going to be very big, and you know what? It's about time. I think it's long overdue for you. I think it's it's about time that people learn that there's more than just meditation. A lot of people can't meditate because the energy is just crazy. So it's way more, it's deeper than that. And I think like there'll be a book about it. I think that this is like, not that you're looking for fame, but this will be like your claim to fame as far as, a lot of people like just worldly. And I think like you have been given this beautiful gift and opportunity to help people get to forget 5. I see like other levels. So, I mean,
I like 5. I like the feeling of 5, but we don't.
Yeah, well, I think 6, 7, 8 is just more bliss, and I think like I'm not saying it's going to be right away, but I think like the more that you teach and the more that you exude your light out. I know you didn't ask for a reading, but I just feel like Spirit wants me to just tell you how excited and how happy they are that you really went down that road that is meant for you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And this is absolutely transatlantic, because I kept feeling the classes, the meditation, the healers, people are going to be seeking you out from all different countries. So you definitely have a global feel to you. And because now you're in alignment with why you were really put here. So I have no idea what your background is or what you worked as a career before all these other decades, but you are now finally stepping into your true light. So Spirit is going to make sure that you are absolutely well known. This has got this feeling of one person tells another, tells 10 people, tells 100, and it keeps multiplying like that. That's what I see.
My goodness. Oh, crikey.
You got chills and you're multiplying, David. Oh boy.
And people are very excited about it. We have a lot of people who are writing in that's saying that they love this conversation and they think that this type of knowledge, like your knowledge, David, is gonna be more acceptable and more in the very near future. That was from Maria Zeri. And thank you very much for writing in. And Nora says she loves this conversation and she said that she would take your class.
There you go.
I'll take your class.
Anyway.
I'm a healer on Long Island.
It only takes one, David. It only takes one.
That's just $2.
That's
Just $2. Just $2. But I want those dollars in silver.
Years ago, you were supposed to come visit me. You were supposed to. It just never was the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Come and I introduced you to everybody on this side of the pond.
Yeah.
All our
You were
witches.
supposed to come here. Da 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 da. Thank you for those chocolates. Yum. Intense. And I think that it's time, and I'm so excited for you.
David, I'm sure that you know that Long Island is just filled with psychics, mediums, healers, intuitives. Yeah. And if you even hinted that you were interested in starting classes, the interest that would just come from Long Island alone would be tremendous.
We got more people that said that they want to come. They want to join you. I got more on here.
You could do Zoom. You don't even have to go in person, but if you want to. But people I mean, like,
saying,
so
people
knowledgeable.
Are saying here on YouTube that they would take the class. Oh my God, let me know. I want to take this class. So David, this is really up to you.
Okay.
Now he's
just pushing into it.
I would take the class.
You do realise that we're on full lockdown at the moment, so we've got to wait a little bit.
Oh, what's a little lockdown doesn't hold us back. Come on.
I would take it. I'd sign up right away.
Me too.
Okay.
You'd have 3 of us right here. We'd be on.
Yeah. You have 3 people, and there's like 3 more online that said you've got 6 people that would sign up just by you saying, let's go.
And you know what, David? I bet you not every single person that takes your class wants to be a healer in their own right like you, but they want to learn how to get to the 5th. They want answers for their lives. And by you teaching is going to allow them the opportunity to love themselves a little more, because just being in your presence says a lot. It's a gift. You're a gift.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very sweet, Bobby, as always.
And not everyone learns the same way from the same teachers.
Right.
So we could have 10 people who take a class with Bobby, they take a class with me, they take a class with Barbara, and each one will resonate differently with that teacher. So there could be people out there that perhaps have taken healing classes and just didn't resonate with it. Now you come along and you teach them something completely different, and they start to snap. Something goes in. They may not be doing the healing, but like Bobby said, it's getting them to the 5th dimension.
Right. Could we talk about that too? Can we talk about the 5th dimension and like what's going on with that? Like, how do you tell people, David, to get to that next level when they're on that that road, and they're almost there, but they're not quite there, and they don't know exactly what that fifth dimension is sort of feeling like. How do you get them to that next level?
Oh, you've got to go through the initiation. As Bobby well knows, she's been through a few initiations.
Oh, Lord, help me.
And this could be anything.
It's hard work, the navigation.
This is actually hard work, isn't it, to get through it, Bobby?
Yes, very. Years.
It's actually to get from fourth to fifth is easier to get from third to fourth, because third to fourth is very, very difficult. And a lot of people are going through that right at this moment. Okay. And so what happens is that you just give up on every single bit of where you want to keep control. You want to control your whole life, right? And you just sort of put your hands in. Okay, Spirit, you're looking after my life now. I'll just release myself to you, and then whatever comes along, you take up. And then when you jump from the fourth to the fifth, again, it's a little initiation process where you're now sort of, I wouldn't say it's torture, but you're tested, and you're tested in such a way that you'll be in a place where you're sort of being kind to everybody. You're trying to help everybody. You're trying to do this for your kids. You're trying to do this for your parents. You're trying to do this for your friends. And what happens is you'll get battered back, and that's the test, is to keep on that road, and suddenly you'll become oblivious to everything that's battered back, and that's when you'll jump into the fifth dimension.
I tell everybody it's the purge. The purge is on, people. The purge to the paper, and you'll find peace, and you'll be, I think that's an easy way to explain it. I could be wrong, but Spirit keeps showing me the purge.
Yeah.
Purge to the paper, purge to just get rid of it, release. I'm doing that myself.
Yeah, me too.
It's very hard. You know, you go back to that ego mind, and then you come back and you're forth and you're playing games with yourself. Yeah. So I get
control.
Yeah, we want to control the outcome. Again. Yes. And
so
navigating through that is hard.
So what do we say to the average person who has got work and financial stress and family and maybe some health issues, and they just feel like they just have to keep go because they can't stop?
Right.
Is that someone who is trying to maintain control of their life?
Well, I was in the same boat last year. It's like, one of these sort of disaster sort of situations is looming in front of me, and I just like, okay, if whatever happens is going to happen. Right. I'm just going to relax about it.
Because you release
it, the more that you make it happen.
Yeah. Well, that's what I try to tell my clients is like, why would you be in lack? I learned all this in the past couple of years. Well, I've heard it many times before, but the more you put out there the worry, then you're going to keep getting that. So I've learned to try to flip that and go like, no, I'm worthy. I am like valuable. Why am I going to keep thinking that I don't deserve what the next guy has? I'm not worried about the next guy. I know what I deserve and what I want to bring to me. So I'm the magnet for that. Is that right? Is that what you do?
Yeah, you're
that what
right.
you tell people?
Yeah, that's it.
And then you bring it to yourself, because why everyone else? And I'm going to sit here and worry about little petty things? No. Bring it on. That's how I got my house. That's how I got my car. Like, it's just, and it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good rule, Bobby. Yeah. I'm gonna come over to see you, and I'm gonna rub shoulders just to get that, that little pixie dust that you've got. I'm just gonna get something on me there. Just have
business. Bobby, you're pixie dust, he said. That's so cute.
I love that. She's pixie dust. Well, we call her Queen Bee. She just spreads that little love all over the place.
I'll be the sprinkles.
Now, David, a question I have for you is, after you do a healing, how do you feel?
Oh, I'll just get enough, as much energy through. Remember, the energy is coming through me. I mean, to get to that state, that took a lot of meditation, and I used a certain technique called the Soul Star activation. And I actually worked really, really hard at the sort of cleaning out of what we call the central channel, which is the bit that connects all your chakras. And I know it's so wide at the moment, I could get a few galaxies through there, never mind energies.
Wow. So you're not exhausted. You're not exhausted after.
Oh no! I do get tired, but it's one of those nice feelings that you got. I mean, it's like you guys when you do your mediumship with somebody, you feel tired, but it's at the same time you felt as if you've gone through a challenge, and it's like, oh, tick that box.
Right. You know why, David? Because I tell people this: you're channeling the white light versus what just is stagnant there. So even though you're tired, you still got a little bit of heaven running through you because you're reading the person, so it's from the light. Yeah. It's awesome.
It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. But
yeah,
you got to remember that even as healers and even as mediums, we also get a little bit of a burnout, and sometimes we just have to switch off. And that's what I've done for the last sort of 5-6 years. I've just switched off because I know many years ago I was told this, that we're all going to be very, very busy as healers. And we all receive this sort of message, and I think this is that time at the moment. There's a lot of emotional stuff happening. So,
can I ask you a question before we go? And I'm not going to say what you do, but are you still doing your full-time job as well as healing? I
have got to be awake at 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's what I thought.
That's another 6.5 hours. So,
yikes.
And coffee. I'll need coffee as well, Bobby, on that one.
Coffee.
I'll need some assistance.
I'm so happy that you came on and finally
Yay.
took the plunge and expressed how you feel and taught us a little bit and chatted with us. And take it away, Barbara.
I have nothing more to say. I mean, David, we would love to have you.
What?
I know.
I was hoping you would end it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
No,
I'll come back. If everybody wants me to come back, I'll come back. I haven't got a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want you to come on.
Absolutely.
And I'll bring a few more stories if that's okay.
Yeah, we have to come back because I would like to talk more about the Akashic Records. Yeah. I like to talk more about the grid work. I like to talk more about energy and how the other healers around the world get together and send light into our world, which we need so greatly. I think that there's a lot more to go into, especially with the fifth dimension and going on to the sixth and the seventh and the eighth, and how we get there and how not to be so hard on ourselves because we still are human. And that's what we're here to actually experience, is that feeling of being human and experiencing all the emotions and feelings that go with it. And it's hard to detach ourselves to leave one dimension to the other, because then we are like saying, okay, those feelings that we have of anger and stuff, we don't need that anymore. So we're discarding those emotions and we're going to the next level, which also brings us a lot of peace. And I think that it's going to somewhere, but where, David? I
think that's for part 2.
Yes.
Right. That
There's
what
a
you
lot.
said is right, but I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that I think that we are here forgetting that we're a soul in the body.
Well, yes.
Experience. People often don't remember that you have to exude the light from the inside out.
Correct.
Spirit always says you are the soul first.
Right.
The vehicle and the vessel is temporary.
Right.
But people play it the different way. Let me find spirituality. I don't know. Who am I?
Right.
What's my theme? Who am I? You are the light. You are the love.
Well, they forget that they are divine. They're divine beings.
Well, now they'll know again.
But then that's what happens. But because our ego, well, that's a whole other story. But that our ego takes over when, as we grow older, and then we have to remember who we are. And that's what we aim to get to, that point of remembering who we are. And so I'm excited to have you here, David. I'm so glad that you came on. I'm glad we got to speak and get to have everyone here know who you are.
And when you say chakras, I love it. Say it again.
Chakras.
Chakra.
Oh, now he's saying it's sexy. Chakras.
So, David, tell us where.
This is late at night, so I can say these things.
David, where can people find you? What is your contact information? Where can people get more information?
blue-healing.com. If you go on there, if you want to send me an email, then it's bluehealing@icloud.com.
Okay.
And if it doesn't,
and it's also on my wall, and Barbara's and Gina's too. I put his email in the not his email, his website is on the advertisement for today's show.
Right. Oh, great, fantastic. We'll do
that. If I don't answer you straight away, it's because I need to get to bed.
Yes, straight away, my friend.
We love you.
We love you. And you know what? We just want to wish everyone a very happy holiday and happy, healthy new year. We're not going to be here. So, yes, we love you guys. Until next time, keep smiling. Bye, David.